What's up? What was that off of? What's up? Oh, we're so far away. Tackle junkies. What's going on, everyone? As you can see, we have a rod order here in one piece. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe it? Let's give a round of applause. USPS. Maybe this was FedEx, I don't know. USPS did not break my rods this time around. Big shout out to USPS for handling my rods with care. Guys, new rod unboxing here from Kuma. But before we hop into that, why do I feel like I'm so far away from you guys? Tell you what, these GoPro 9s, I'm ready to take them, throw them right in the trash. Got my neighbor over here staring at me. I'm ready to take these GoPro 9s, toss them in the trash. They just had an update, all right? GoPro 9s update. They just freaking whacked out, dude. Like, no matter what you do, you try to connect them to your phone, or I like using the remote. Screen goes green. You can't connect to nothing. They're freaking trash. I don't know. Anyways, if you got GoPro 9s, do yourself a favor, toss them in the trash. 10s, I wouldn't even get the 10s because they're probably gonna overheat faster than the 9s. But this update that was supposed to improve some things made things worse. Okay, anyways, that's not the news. You can tell from the title, we got some news, right? Really, for me at least, the news is bad. It ain't great, okay? You guys know I've been using a Kuma rods for many years. I used them before I partnered with them. I've been partnered with them for many years now. Love the rods. The TCS rods turned me on to the brand. Absolutely love the action of those rods. Like I said, that's kind of what sold me on the brand. From there, I liked the EVX and the SX. Got a review on the SX. I got a ton of videos with the EVX and all that. Come to find out, I didn't even know this until I was making my rod order, okay? The EVX, which this still blows my mind because I talked to so many of you guys about that series, okay? But the EVX and the SX are both discontinued. I mean, that broke my heart. I absolutely loved those series. Now they do have the Serrano and the Ceros, which a lot of you guys do ask about as well. But to be honest with you guys, I don't use them that much. Both of those rod series have an extra fast action. And I've been kind of leaning more towards that fast to mod fast. And the EVX, the SX, even the cycle sticks. They're, well, tell you what, the SX, the cycle sticks are fast. There are a couple in the EVX line that were mod fast, but majority of those are fast, but they're a bit on the soft side. And the EVX, the SX, the cycle stick, they all kind of feel very similar to me, where the other two, the Serrano and the Ceros, feel just a bit on the stiff side just because they do have that extra fast action. But yeah, that's why I really don't use those couple there, but I'm so bummed that they discontinued the EVX and the SX. And I know some of you guys are going to be as well, because I know the EVX for some of your guys is like go-to rods. So I don't know why they discontinued them. I mean, I know why. They said the sales just weren't that great on them. But I know a ton of you guys bought them, so maybe only my subs are buying those rods and nobody else bought them. I don't really know, but they were a fantastic rod, but they are now gone. So a lot of the combos that I kind of had set, you know, what rod I use for what, I'm going to kind of switch some of those around. And like I said, I got some new rods here. I got a bunch of new reels I'm going to be pairing with new rods and all that. So we'll do a rod and reel arsenal when I'm done with everything. But I'm really thinking now really what reel I want on what rod and all that, just because I feel like I'm kind of back to square one, figuring out really what I like again, just because, like I said, a lot of the rods that I used and loved I can no longer get. And it really sucks because last year I got rid of a lot of my EVX rods because they were older. I was trying to get a new batch in, and now I can't get those. And some of those I got rid of, like the only ones that I had of certain series, and now I can't even get them anymore. So I'm like so bummed about that. Anyways, enough of the depressing stuff. Let's open up the new rods. I'll show you guys what I got, tell you guys why I got them, and then we also have like a special edition reel that I'm going to show you guys at the end. Definitely stick around for that. It's a killer looking reel, man. Anyways, let's crack this baby open. Knife of the day. A little Aftco. I done forgot the name of this one. What is this one even called? I don't even know. K390 steel. My neighbors are still staring at me. I feel like I'm on the spot now because I don't know the name of this knife. What was this dang thing called? Somebody help me in the comments. Dragonfly. It's right there on the handle. The Dragonfly. Warcliffe blade. Okay. Oh man, those are some beauties. We got some beauties in here. Got some beauties. I do believe I have I think 4 of the cycle sticks. 4 cycle sticks, the medium heavy. Those are on back order, I do believe, but I think I have everything else in the box here from this order. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the Guide Select cranking rod. I got a couple of those, and that's another thing. The EVX cranking rod, that was like one of my go-to cranking rods. It was a rod that I felt that I could really, at least for all the crankbaits that I toss, that I could put really any crankbaits on those rods. They loaded at 1/4, maxed out, I want to say at 1 ounce on those. I do believe I got a couple of those left. No, I'm not selling them, they're mine. But like I said, that particular rod, it was plenty beefy for how I like my rods to feel as far as my cranking rods go. And like I said, it loaded a light enough crank and heavy enough crank. It really did everything that I needed it to do. So the Guide Selects, they do load at like 3/16. It's still a good rod. It's a medium power. Normally I like cranking with a medium heavy, but like I said in one of my last videos, that particular medium power rod, it feels a bit stiffer to me, got a bit more backbone to it. It's not quite a medium heavy, it's kind of right there in the middle, so I really do like it for cranking. It really does everything that I need it to do. But that EVX, man, that was a solid choice for like 109 or whatever it was, 99 bucks. It was a great rod. So this would be my next option if you guys are looking for a cranking rod. I would look to the Guide Select. It's like 169 maybe, something like that. The TCS that I use as well, another great option, but they don't load to like 3/8. So if you're trying to throw something lighter on there, you can, but you need to be a bit more experienced because it doesn't load that light of a crank. So if you're wanting to load a bit lighter, I'd go with the Guide Select there. Anyways, enough talking, let's go ahead and grab one. I believe we do have a couple of them in here. Here's one. Now we ordered 2. One. All right. And 2. All right. 1 and 2. I believe this is a 7-footer. Yeah, 7-footer medium power mod fast action. We'll just take the one out here. Excellent rod though. I do like it's got the cork grip on there. Years ago I was like all cork, and then when I started using the Kuma rods, majority of those were the foam, the EVA foam. So I kind of got used to that. But once I started using this series again, I kind of missed the cork, so I was kind of glad to see it come back around. But this here is the Guide Select cranking rod. This is a 7-footer. I don't believe, I talked about this in my last video as well, one of my last videos. I don't believe they have a medium heavy in this series. They might in different lengths, but the 7-footer I believe only comes in this this medium power here. But nice looking rod. Nice looking rod here. Like I said, cork grips, light, comfortable. So That's one of the cranking rods. Like I said, we got 2 of those. Let's hop into the Psycho sticks here. 7.5. I had one of these. It was actually, I think it was one of the prototypes when they first were released, or right before they were released. And that one was delivered to me in 2 pieces. I'm sure you guys remember that. But this is a 7.5. I believe it's a heavy. Obviously, the cranking rod I'm going to use for shallow cranking. This one here is a 7.5. Typically, I don't use this long of rod. But I'm going to use this one mainly for just pitching and flipping. Put some heavy line on it. And like I said, maybe pitch some mats with it. We don't have a lot of mats. There's one lake that I do fish that does have some mats. So we'll pitch a bit of mats with it. Jig rod, just really anything up close and shallow, I'll use this rod for. Probably just pitching jigs, you know, things like that. Again, I'm more of a medium heavy guy, but I did want a longer heavy power rod, like I said, for a bit of mat fishing and just a good all around, you know, pitching jig rod. These Psycho sticks, man, these are pretty slick. And the cool thing about them is I don't believe any 2 rods are going to look the same. They have this cool looking pattern on there. And like I said, each rod is supposed to have a completely different pattern. So that's pretty cool, man. Pretty psycho, right? The Psycho stick. Like I said, 7.5 heavy, fast action. And like I was saying earlier, you know, these rods here, the SX, they all feel very similar to me. The EVX are a bit softer, but these are, to me, a true fast action rod, where the Ceros and the Serrano, they're an extra fast. So I really do like this series. Good action to it. Like I said, not too fast. So anyways, yeah, that's the 7.5 heavy jig rod, Psycho stick, pitching and flipping. So we got one of those. I think, yeah, let's see here. Oh, I do got a heavy here. Okay. And I got one more. Let's see here. This is a medium. Yeah, I did get a couple. Got a couple mediums. It's funny, if you guys go in the tackle room, there's probably, I don't know, 100-something rods in there. And I bet like maybe 5 of them are medium powers. I mean, I'm mainly a medium heavy guy. I like different lengths, different actions, but I'm mainly a medium heavy guy. Like I said, I don't have a lot of thick cover around here. I don't do a whole lot of finesse type stuff. I just don't use medium that much. I'm fairly good with a bait caster, so if I'm gonna throw something pretty light, I can do that on a medium heavy. But I did want to pick up a couple mediums to play around with. A bit more finesse stuff, probably a shaky head. I'm not a huge finesse guy like you guys know, but I love tossing a shaky head, so I might do that on one of these rods. But these are the medium power here. Like I said, we got a couple of these here. Medium power. Love that Psycho stick, man. Super, super light. Super light. The butt section, I'm not sure what's different about it, because I compared it to the SX, and I think they're about the same. But I know when I switch hands, since I'm one of those guys that switches hands, sometimes it rubs my belly here. So I know it's a bit longer than I would like. I would like it a bit shorter, but that's not really a deal breaker. But yeah, this is the medium power 7.2 fast action. But yeah, there we go. EVA foam, little EVA here. I mean, just super nice, man. Super nice. Medium power. Like I said, we got a couple of those. The Psycho stick. And then we got one heavy. One heavy here. May have got 2, maybe one's on back order. Maybe I got 1, I don't know. I do know for sure 4 of those medium heavies are on back order. 7.2 heavy. I'll be honest with you, like I said earlier, I don't even use heavy all that much. I'm not a huge jig guy. I like a heavy for jigs, swim jigs, or any other jig. I like heavy for jigs, frogs, jigs, frogs. It's Probably about it. I mean, I'm not a big heavy guy. I mean, pitching and flipping, if I'm not around a lot of heavy cover, I'll do that with a medium heavy. You know, medium heavy is more than enough to, you know, drive an EWG or flip and hook or whatever. Enough power in a medium heavy to drive that home. Anytime I'm going for a heavy, it's because I got some thick cover. Maybe I need to turn the fish fast, get them coming to me before I get wrapped up. Or if I'm fishing a frog, it's got like a big frog hook in there, or like I said, a jig. But I don't really use heavy all that much. This one here most likely will be maybe a frog rod, maybe a swim jig rod. Or, you know, I may just use it for pitching and flipping, like I'm going to use a 7.5. Maybe I don't need the extra length. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to play around with it again. I'm not a big, heavy guy, but most likely, well, I mean, I am like 225, so I guess I'm kind of a big, heavy guy. But most likely, it's going to be a frog rod, swim jig rod, or just a pitching jig, something like that. Anything with a beefier hook, I'm gonna grab the heavy. Or like I said, if I'm around some thicker cover, we'll go to the heavy. But yeah, man, just a beautiful rod, man. I love these rods. Love these rods. Straight as an arrow, how it should be. All right, and they even got this little, you guys can see this here? You got a double lockdown here. You got one here, and then you got the one up here. So you got a double. So that baby ain't coming loose on you. Like the hook keeper down here, like that style. Super nice, man, super nice. Again, that is the heavy. So we had a handful of Psycho sticks, a couple of the Guide Select cranking rod, and the rest here we have are the TCS. Okay, I think I got 4 different rods, 2 of each. Let's see here. All right, we got 2 of the Jig Worm. And I bet I probably have, I might have, I don't know, 7 or 8 of these. I absolutely love this rod. This is my go-to rod. And it's a 7-foot heavy power, mod fast action. So it's got a softer tip to it. Load to 3/16, max it out at 1 ounce. Super comfortable rod in hand. Love this rod, especially the new generation here. The grip's just more comfortable, better components on it. I never had any issues with the old gen, but this one here, man, is definitely a nice step up. Nice step up here. Beautiful rod, man, beautiful rod. Love that. Love that new shape there, the grip and all that. It's super nice rod. But this is the Jig Worm. Jig Worm. This really is my go-to frog rod. It's my go-to swim jig rod. Jig, worm. I mean, it's just a good all-around Texas rig, jig, frog, swim. I mean, I love it. I mainly use braid on these rods, like I said, for swim jigs and my frogs. But man, super nice rod. Love these rods. I would say it's one of my favorites. But I mean, I got so many favorites on this line. Like I said, this is a series that really turned me on to the Kuma brand, man. I absolutely love these rods. But yeah, the Jig Worm, both the all-purpose, the cranking rods. I mean, I don't know. It'd be tough for me to pick just one. I probably would base that on like where we're at in the season, you know. So like coming up on summertime, probably this one. Early spring, probably going to be the 6.9 all-purpose, because I love tossing spinnerbait. It just really depends what I'm doing. I love these rods so much. But yeah, Jig Worm. Got a couple of these, mainly frog and swim jigs, what I use these for the most. But again, I use them for a ton of different things. Super awesome rod here, man. Super awesome rod. Okay. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Moving and grooving. Okay. This here is cranking, and cranking. Couple crankers. All right. Couple crankers. Now before they had the EVX, I was using this rod pretty much for everything. But like I said earlier, I'm pretty good with a baitcaster. I'm not bragging or nothing, you know, but I mean, I can put on a lighter crankbait than what this rod will load and have no problem at all just flinging it out there. It has a lot to do with your the line that you're using, the reel that you're using as well. But like I said, for years, this is the only cranking rod that I used, and it worked just fine. From the Little Bomber Square A, KVD 1.5, KVD 2.5, I mean, anything in that range, even the Bandits. I think the Bandits might be 5/16, maybe 3/8, but even this rod would throw those as well. But good all around cranking rod here. But like I said, the Guide Select, it does load to 3/16. So if you're trying to get like max distance out of one of your baits, I mean, make sure you have a rod that's loading close to that weight. That way you can really get that rod to load up and help you fling it out there. But like I said, I mainly use these ones for the bigger size, KVD 1.5, 2.5, and I like the Guide Select for anything lighter, but I'll still throw 1.5 on there as well. But yeah, this is the crankbait jerkbait rod here. Let's see here, 7 foot. It's a 7 foot, it's a medium plus. So it's not quite a medium heavy, right there in the middle. But yeah, good all around cranking rod here. 3/8 though to 3/4, so you want to kind of be in that range. You know, something people don't think about. You know, there are some guys will just grab a rod and a reel, tie any lure on, and go out there and wonder why they're backlashing and all that. You need enough weight to load that tip. If you don't load the tip, you know, your lure's is going to come and dive right in front of you. You got to load it to get it out there. So you at least want to meet the minimum recommendation on the rod, which I do have videos on this, but you'll see here 3/8 to 3/4. This GoPro even will pick that up, 3/8 to 3/4. So you at least want to meet that 3/8. But yeah, good cranking rod here, man. Miss the EVX, man, no doubt. I miss that EVX. Cool, if you're watching this, send me a few of them EVX, will you? Okay, if you don't want to put myself, nobody else don't. Send me a few. But yeah, crankbait jerkbait rod. And I tell you what, another thing, they used to have this rod in a 6.6, which I really liked. Great jerkbait rod, great for shallow cranking, if you're in tight spots and all that, but I don't believe I've seen that one available either. Maybe it was just sold out, I don't remember. But anyways, this is the 7 footer here, and we got a couple of these. Okay, we got 2 more here. I'm gonna say the best for last, I don't know. I told you earlier, depends on the season, but the last rod in the box, it's one of my favorites, man. It's one of my favorites. This one here, a couple of these. This one here is the 7 foot. It's a medium heavy as well, all-purpose rod. I mean, I guess majority of it, majority of the TCS line, it's a great moving bait line just because the actions are soft. So obviously for your crankbaits, use the cranking rod because it's even softer. But for like chatterbaits and you know, spinner baits and swim jigs and swim baits, anything like that, these rods have a nice soft action to them, and it just allows the fish to get the bait, and you know, you can fight the fish a bit better with that softer action. You know, if they jump and the rod unloads, okay, and you barely got them hooked, if that rod is so stiff, when they go back down in the water and that rod's going to load back up, well, if it's so stiff, you're going to put a lot of pressure on that hook point and it could tear out. With these rods being softer, you just don't lose that many fish on them, and that's really what I noticed and really why I fell in love with them. But like I said, this one here is an all-purpose rod, 7 foot medium heavy, 3/16, 3/4. So load the 3/16, maxes out at 3/4. I like it for probably my go-to chatterbait rod. Great for chatterbaits. I'll use it for spinner baits. Lipless, if I'm around some grass and I want a bit more meat in the rod to pull it out of the grass, I'll go to this rod versus a cranking rod, just because the cranking rod is just a bit softer, but this one's got a bit more power to it. But just a good all-around moving bait rod. I mean, in a pinch, you could probably toss cranks with it. I'm sure I even have. But of course, if I have a cranking rod, I'm going to go to a cranking rod. But fantastic moving bait rod. Again, this is the 7 footer, and you'll see here it says all-purpose. All-purpose. All right. Absolutely love this rod, though. Love this rod. Okay, 7 footer, medium heavy, mod fast. The last one. And like I said, I do have those other 4 on back order. But you guys, you've seen one cycle stick, you've seen them all. 4 medium heavies on back order. That's kind of like I said, my go-to, medium heavy fast. I mean, I love tossing a Texas rig. You know, I'll put 5 different ones on there. I mean, I love tossing Texas rigs. But that fast action, and like I said, the SX and the cycle sticks and BVX, even though they're labeled fast, they're still a bit on the slow side. So even if I wanted to, I could put a spinnerbait on there, chatterbait on there, and they weren't too stiff. You know, where the extra fast, I just don't get a whole lot of use out of that action. So again, that's why I don't use those other couple series. But I mean, for as much as I like reaction and moving baits, I mean, these TCS are like, man, I just love them. So anyways here, these are I got 2 of these. These are probably my favorite. I know I wouldn't pick one, but I've caught so many fish on this rod, and I love tossing a spinnerbait. Underspin is my go-to underspin rod. And I don't know what I would do. If they ever discontinue this one, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know. I'd be very upset, I'll tell you that. I'd be very upset. So this one here, and it's such a fun rod. This is the Kuma TCS, okay, the tournament concept, all purpose, okay? Tournament concept, all purpose, but it's a 6'9", medium heavy, mod fast action. It's got a nice soft action to it. It's a short rod, it's a light rod. Man, it is a super fun rod, especially, you know, with spinnerbaits, little roll casts and all that, man. I absolutely love this rod for, like I said, underspins and spinnerbaits. Super fun rod, and it loads at 1/8. Anytime I'm trying to toss something light, this is the rod I go to right here, just because, as far as reaction baits go, because it loads 1/8. And like I said, just super fun. You know, if you're trying to toss something light, of course you need a lighter line, but you also, and you need a decent reel as well. But the rod plays just as big a role, you know, maybe even bigger, because if you don't have enough weight to load the tip, you're not going to get much distance and you are going to backlash. Lighter reaction baits, this rod is money. But I tell you what, even 3/8, half-ounce spinner baits, man, it's such a fun rod to fish with. If I can only pick one, even though I said I wouldn't pick one, it probably would be this one, just because I've caught so many fish on this rod. Absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it. Tournament concept series, all purpose, 6'9", medium heavy, mod fast action. You can even use it for top waters, jerk baits. Like I said, the TCS line is just a fantastic moving bait rod, or moving bait series. So anyways, guys, that is all of the rods that I ordered. Like I said, I do have them 4 on back order, but let me show you that reel real fast. And I knew I was going to unbox these rods for you guys. I didn't even open up this reel. I wanted to do it, you know, with you guys. But it's a GT, a Kuma GT limited edition. The thing that sucks for you guys, I don't believe you can even get this reel. I think there's only like 1,500 made. I do believe some retailers have them. They may already be sold out. If after you watch this video, you may want to like run to Tackle Warehouse, see if you can even get one. I don't even know if they have them. That's cool, man. So it's got a limited edition little box here. That's cool, dude. That is cool. All right, like I said, it's 1,500 made. Now, there's a green model as well. I don't know if it's 1,500 of each color or 1,500 total. But some packing there. Got your, I'll show it to you guys real fast here. Put it back in the, this is neat. This is neat. And I think it's a 4,000 series. I'm assuming they only made the one series, and I usually use 3,000 to 4,000 size. I like that bigger spool. You just have less line issues with that bigger spool. But check that out, man. So you got the reel. I'm not sure what that is there. Got the handle there. Looks like some lube. What is this? I don't know what that is. Oh, dude, that's cool. A Kuma Rising with every challenge. Limited edition, 1 of 1,500. Is that card? So you see that? Dude, that's so cool. Check that out. Oh, dude, that feels good. That feels good. And it's got like a neon green, and then there's this orange one. Dude, that's so slick. We'll put it on the right side here. It's kind of funny, and I got a video on this. I reel right with casting gear, but I reel left spinning gear. That is so nice. Oh, I love that. Why would you guys only make 1,500 of these? That is nice. It feels so awesome. This might make me a spinning reel person. I don't have a spinning rod in my hand too often, but I tell you what, this reel feels fantastic. If this is available, if I can find this reel available somewhere, I'll go ahead and link it down below. Check it out. I'll look at Tackle Warehouse and wherever else I think they would be sold, but I'd imagine they're already gone or they're already spoken for. But man, that is super nice. But I tell you what, I believe Kuma's running a giveaway right now for one of these. It could be one or the other, or maybe you get to choose. Over there on their Instagram, possibly on their Facebook as well. But I know for sure on their Instagram because I shared it today. And I believe it's going to run through the 31st. So you guys should head over there and enter to for a chance to win this reel, man. Or not this one. This one's mine. Anyways, guys, there is the GT. The GT from Kuma, limited edition. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smash the thumbs up. Love you guys. We will see you guys on the next one.